Hello, this is Michelle again with another video. My last video I talked about the farmers, and this video I want to touch on a little bit of the research that I've been doing over the past few months about illegal immigration. Well, if anybody knows a lot about it, it's me, of course. I did marry an illegal, and he told me how he crossed and everything like that. And he's not here anymore, of course. He got deported. And he does not ever want to come here illegally again, so we don't know if we'll ever get his papers done. But in the meantime, this immigration pact that Mexico has signed with the United Nations is making a mess out of Mexico, an absolute mess. And it's going to affect my husband because he owns land and he owns cows, and he's probably going to have to pay higher taxes. But let me explain to you guys about how this big caravan thing started, because the caravan thing is what really made me change my mind about us needing a border wall, and how it actually opened my eyes to make me realize that this movement is not good for us, okay? So, because it was based upon political movement, okay? It wasn't because people needed to come here because they were in poverty and they were poor. It was more of a bell and a sound of an alarm. And I've heard reports now that there are towns, whole entire towns, that have become ghost towns. I mean, there are very few people there. It's just the ones left behind, These towns, they're missing their farmers now. They're missing a lot of things. I don't know how it's going to affect their food, but I mean, a lot of their people have left, and it's because the news media over there, the leaders in the media, which is also owned by the United States as well. Not the United States, but certain corporations within the United States, which is mostly Democratic, of course. They all work together and they report together, and the leaders, presidents of these countries as well, also want to get rid of a population of people that they don't want there anymore. They just want to get rid of them. And this is their way of getting rid of them. And they've had a meeting with the United Nations, and they've made agreements, and they've signed papers with them. It's called the UN Global Pact, or for immigrants, where they can just go wherever, supposedly to flee poverty or whatever, or war. But these 3 South American countries especially, they weren't really going through this. They were going through crime situations that they needed to control on their own. But what this did was this opened a door for the whole world. And Mexico's receiving the whole world right now. And we are also receiving them, but on a smaller number. Mexico's getting a larger number, and they are just trying to push on through. And they know that the more that come, the more get released. So it's like a get in line and let's push, okay? So our dear friends, the United Nations, that Bush administration had came up and made all these ideals with global control, is bringing us down, okay, through this movement. They're trying to break our system. The Democrats, on the other hand, are involved in this as well, involved in this movement, as well as organizations like Antifa. The Pope, sad to say, the Catholic Church has become very divided. A lot of priests in the United States are not in agreement with this. They're against abortion, but they support the Democrats when it comes to immigration because they get more money when the illegals work in the United States, and they donate, and they come to mass in larger groups than Americans do, okay? So this is all being funded, and church organizations as well as socialist organizations, as well as the United Nations, and as well as the people within our country that have relatives overseas also send money for this movement. So this is a really big immigration movement. So if you guys want to understand why all these people are coming, well, they can turn their TV on, and their TV is going to tell them all the good benefits they get here in the United States, and how you can just get in line and start pushing, and if you get caught, that's okay. You just get, released into America. And it's easier if you have a child, So this is what is going on, okay? This is why I'm against it, because this is what is going to break us. It's going to break us financially. And it's going to make it harder for us in America. Say, for instance, they're going to cut benefits of Americans because they have to figure out how to ration out all the funding. So these people that have been getting like welfare and food stamps and, Section 8, they're going to start feeling the hit, and they're going to blame it on Donald Trump. But, the reason the rules are going to get stricter and harder is because we're having to take care of this big movement, okay? And I don't understand how the Democrats felt like they can become in power and give all this free stuff. We're already in debt. We're already we've been in debt a long time. Bush administration put us in debt when he took us to that war. And now I don't know if we'll ever get out of that war. I don't know if they're going to manage to really do something about this. It's something that's supposed to continue until the end of days, of course. But I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I've done the research on it. I've read the news articles, and I've heard from the people themselves. I've heard the news. I can speak Spanish, and I've watched Spanish news, okay? I've listened and read the reports in Mexico and in South America, the South American news as well. I've tuned in on all of this, okay? I know what they're saying to them. I know what is going on. And I have people in Mexico that can see everything. They know who it is. It is people within our own government as well as Europe. And it's terrible, okay? I'm against this. So share your thoughts on that, like and subscribe. However, like I said, I've done the research. So if you guys don't want to believe me, that's fine. Don't believe me, but that's the truth, okay? So y'all have a great night.